This is Jarrod Horak for the RunawayHorse.com. Welcome to my latest horse racing video, and in this video I'm going to recap the 2022 Breeders' Cup Classic. Also, stay tuned to my YouTube channel. I'm going to have recap videos for Breeders' Cup Friday and the other Breeders' Cup Saturday races as well. If you're interested in my full card analysis, St. Anita Park just completed their autumn meet on Sunday, November 6th, and my full cards will resume on Friday, November 11th, and that will be the opening of the Del Mar Bing Crosby season. They will run until December 4th. I'll be covering all the full cards, and if you're interested in that, runawayhorse.com on my sales page, you can purchase individual full cards, weekly and weekend packages, or the entire meet. Go over to the runawayhorse.com on my sales page for more details. Now let's get into the recap of the 2022 Breeders' Cup Classic. It was the 11th race at Keeneland on Saturday, November 5th. We had an 8-horse field, and 2 horses just dominated this race, or at least for most of the way, and then 1 horse dominated, the horse that we expected to, Flightline. Now, Life is Good, as expected, got out there fast, and he set some fast fractions. He was going 22 and change, 45 and change, 109 and change. So he was setting some quick splits, and Flightline just sat in second all by himself. Now, after the opening quarter, they were about 4.5 lengths ahead of the rest of the field. After a half mile, they pulled 11 lengths ahead, and then after 6 furlongs, they were 13 lengths ahead of everybody else. So this was just, at the beginning, just really a match race, but it really wasn't even a match race, because if you were watching jockey Flavien Prat aboard Flightline, he knew he could go past Life is Good anytime he wanted to, so he just kept looking back to see if there was any dangers whatsoever, and there really weren't. So at the 1 mile mark, he started to get even with Life is Good, who was a couple lengths ahead of him earlier. And then Prat just looked back a few more times just to make sure nobody was coming, and certainly nobody was coming. So then he was able to take over from Life is Good, and he went from being even on even terms to more than 5 lengths ahead in the stretch, and then he was able to pull clear more than 8 lengths as the heavy favorite. So this was a very easy victory, just like all his other wins. Life is Good just could not keep up, and he got discouraged. After Flightline went past him, he just got tired, and he was just going fast, as I said, and he just couldn't keep up those splits, and he ended up finishing off the board. So there was a good battle for second between Olympiad and my second choice, Taiba, but Olympiad was able to outfinish him a half length in front of Taiba, and then it was back to Rich Strike, who was able to pass some tired horses and ended up finishing 4th and completing the superfecta. And then we had Life is Good, Hot Rod Charlie, Happy Saver, and then unfortunately Epicenter. He had to pull up early. He was vanned off. He had an injury to his one of his right legs. He did have surgery, and it was successful surgery, but he won't be running anymore, but he will be a stallion now. So now looking to see which horses could be coming back next year out of this race. Well, it was just announced on Sunday, November 6th, that Flightline has been retired. That's very disappointing. We're really hoping that he was going to come back next year. I would have really loved to seen him maybe start his next year's campaign in a race like the Pegasus World Cup, and then maybe go to the Dubai World Cup, and then run, maybe try to repeat in the Pacific Classic, and then the Breeders' Cup Classic. It would have been great to see him have a nice campaign next year. He's just so brilliant, but unfortunately, just like we see so many times, these horses, they just retire them way too soon, rush them off to the breeder's shed. Flightline was just starting to catch on, and as being a huge fan favorite, and now that's over, he's going to be retired. So Olympiad's another one that will be retired as well, but there still is a chance that he could run in the Pegasus World Cup early next year. Now, Taiba's coming back, and Rich Strike, those two, the 3rd and 4th place finishers, they will be back to run 4-year-old campaigns next year. Taiba for Bob Baffert. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up running in either the Saudi Cup or the Dubai World Cup. And the same for Rich Strike. They're thinking that they may go for the Saudi Cup, maybe the Dubai World Cup for him too, so we'll have to see. Life is Good will be retired. They haven't decided yet about Hot Rod Charlie, whether he will be retired or not. Happy Saver for trainer Todd Pletcher. He's off to the breeding shed. And then Epicenter, as I said, was injured, and he's going to be retired as well. So right now, only horses that are definitely coming back are Taiba and Rich Strike. Olympiad, as I said, could run again in the Pegasus World Cup, and then possibly Hot Rod Charlie. I'm not sure what they're going to do with him, but it would be nice if he ended up coming back as well. So that'll wrap up my recap of the Breeders' Cup Classic. It was a thrilling race. If you had Flightline, and I did have Flightline, he was my single and my top choice, and I ended up hitting some doubles, pick threes. I had to pick 4 ending with the Classic, and then the pick 5 as well. So I did make some money with Flightline there, being able to hit those races, especially that pick 5 that did end up paying well. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this content. And that will wrap up my look at the 2022 Breeders' Cup Classic. I will be back, and I'll be doing my videos of recapping the other Breeders' Cup races. So stay tuned to my YouTube channel, and until I see you next time, good luck at the races.